get the other side warmed up. Da, 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 da. Should be working now, Angie and Aaron. I really don't know which one to call you. Sorry. There we go. No, it's probably a bot. They're usually bots. Oh, no worries, JJ. I don't even consider this the evening, but I get what you're saying. We're casually looking for another Aussie. Hey Underground, hey Tokyo, Xavier, Kumar, and Parkers. RJ. RJ, you gotta send a heart me. He's sometimes nice, Xavier. Hey Jasmine. Hi Lizzie. Hi Shannon. Oh yeah, she's really energetic. That's the word for that. She's so energetic, so sweet. Yes, Aussie Shepherd. She's an Australian Shepherd. You're odd. You are really odd. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Angie's like, should be working now. There you go. RJ didn't send his heart me. I'm so odd, Luca. I agree. And no worries, Luca. I'd rather be odd than be whatever. Than be whatever anyone else is. That's crazy. What did we say? What did we agree on? I don't think Amy's in here. I think we agreed on bonkers earlier. Hi, NASCAR fan. Friday. Friday. Odd is not a bad thing. Like, I'd rather be odd. Exactly, an individual. Alright, let's see. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Alright, do you still support him?
I do.
And how old are you?
49 and a half.
Okay, cool. Just making sure you were, over 18. Alright. What's your main reason for still supporting Trump?
I always get confused with that question. It's like, are you still supporting him? What's your reason for still supporting him? Like, there's like an innuendo, like, you shouldn't still support him, or a question.
Okay. Would you like me to explain why I ask it that way?
Sure.
Cool. So the reason why I ask people why are you still supporting Trump is because a lot of people like to tell me why they voted for him. Well, that's not the question that I asked. I don't care about why you supported him during his campaign. I care about why you support him while he's actively president, being 6 months into office. Does that make more sense for you?
A bit. So you want to focus on the most recent 6 months.
Right. From like what he's already done, and it's
That's
not what
even
an
better.
innuendo was. Okay.
Sure, I got it.
You also
Okay.
were
Yeah.
wrong about what an innuendo is. Hi, King.
I don't think so. I think you kind of suggested that, which is sort of an innuendo, that, like you shouldn't be still sticking by Trump when, he's doing a great job.
Nope, not what I said at all.
It says right up there on your screen, I don't support Trump. Why do you?
Thank you, Manda. Yeah.
And your question was, why do you still support him?
Uh-huh. So why?
It's so obvious. So obvious why. He's doing a great job. His budget is surplus. Borders under control. He's got border management.
Thank you, King.
He's
Okay.
got tax deductions, good tax deductions for the poor people.
For the...
He's got good tax breaks for the rich.
Hey, Nancy. It's okay, Summer. They're not coming for us.
No tax on tips for the poor people.
For the poor... The fact that you keep saying it that way, like, my dog is not happy with you. Do you hear her?
Well, is it rich people that work on tips, like on those types of jobs?
Dude,
Or is
we
it
all
poor
know
people?
that there are some people that work in, like, at really good restaurants that make a lot of money on tips, so...
They're not rich.
You don't know that?
If they were rich, they wouldn't likely be serving tables for tips in restaurants.
It's lucrative.
It could be Luke, but it's not going to make you rich.
Oh, actually, this is funny. It can be Luke. Okay, this is probably the funniest comment. Now it's also bad to have a dog, guys. It wasn't just women with cats. It's now bad to own
Yeah,
a dog.
it's all right. It's all good.
Oh no, I'm
Man's best
just
friend.
I'm just laughing at this guy. It's cool.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, so Trump is doing great. I think he's doing fantastic. He's it's
Right,
actually
cat?
5 months that he's been at the job, so
6
he's
months.
doing okay. Well, he didn't start till the end of January, right?
In what month are we in now?
Or later. I'm sorry, later than January. He really didn't get going until February. He really didn't start working hard until February. Dealing with all the drama that comes along with the Democrats.
When our presidents inaugurated it,
January.
yeah, what day?
Um, 20th.
Correct. And what is today?
24th, 5th,
Of what month?
July, 7th month,
7 minus 1 equals what?
6.
Okay, great. We got there. It's been 6 months.
Technically, he really didn't start working in January 20th, right? He
Oh,
really started
so did I
working.
imagine all of the executive orders that he signed on January 20th?
You did not imagine them, you just
I
didn't
didn't
like them.
imagine them. Okay. So
Well,
he
from
did
an
start.
economic.
So I just want to be clear. Did he start working on January 20th, or did he not really get to work until February?
I just think it's normal common sense that whether you're a president or any.
Nope. We're done with that. I just want to be clear, guys. Donald Trump really didn't start working until like February's. Okay. Um, none of them? Matcha? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Boss! Get my boss! Oh my god, get the boss!
I think what's more funny is that they can't hold their joke long enough to not laugh. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yo. Oh, we support Trump.
How old are you?
Oh, 21.
Yeah, no, you're not. Forgot to update this. I knew there was something I was missing. There we go. Matcha, I don't think you meant to request. I'm gonna decline your request. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Kid, if I hung up on you, don't call again. Again, children, if I hang up on you, don't call back. Alright. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi.
How old are you?
17.
Have a good day. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Go.
Yeah, so I do support Trump.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. And you voted for Trump as well?
Yes, yep.
Awesome. What's your main reason for still supporting Trump?
Well, I do want to see the chaos ensue from, him being president.
And what does that mean?
Well, pretty much Bernie Sanders was supposed to be president. And, the swamp, they corrupted the election and made it so that he didn't have a chance. So the only way we could really move forward is to have an anarchy.
Oh, so you're just an anarchist?
Well, we had a chance. We had an opportunity with Bernie Sanders, and clearly the American people didn't want that. So.
Oh, okay. So can you define anarchist for me?
Well, I believe that we need to go through a period of no law, lawlessness. We need to actually be able to assassinate sitting senators in order to clean up the corruption.
FBI! Dude, I have your business name. That was very dumb. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Your mom told me to lick my dick.
Dude, get a new line. You'd used that yesterday. Or whatever day. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
How old are you?
Trump is better because Biden sniffed.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me or no?
No one can hear you. Can you speak up?
Okay, yeah. My phone case is terrible, and I have like one of the big phone bumper cases. So sometimes the mic just doesn't pick up.
Okay. How old are you?
23.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Do you still support him?
It's like, well, I mean, 50-50.
What's one of the reasons you still support Trump?
Well, for me, I am quite much like I don't know what the other person said, but I mean, I'm sort of like in the opposite side of accelerationism. I still think that that's sort of one of the reasons I still have a sort of support, because I think it's still, what he's doing still falls in line with the accelerationist ideas. Although I'm not a LARPer like the other guy.
So you just want the end of the country to come?
Well, I mean, kind of a little bit. I mean, if you think about it.
Thank you, baby, for the first gift ever.
Low key, you got to admit though, I think that I mean, I still believe was the fact that we're still low key kind of imperialists. We're low key kind of like world terrorists. So I mean, I wouldn't want to continue the idea of a society that props itself on imperialism and terrorism.
Then don't vote.
Well, I mean, though, how does that achieve my goals in any way?
I
when
mean,
there's still
if you, I'm sorry, anybody that calls themselves an accelerationist, you obviously don't care about humanity in general. You don't care about the population within this country. So I kind of think that you're a little bit of a piece of trash. So that's why I say then just don't vote. I'm sorry
Well,
that that doesn't align with what you believe your views should be or what your world is. You don't care about people, so I don't care about you. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Oh, yes.
How old are you?
I'm 63.
All right. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
You still support him?
Of course. Even more so. That's 6 months of any president in my lifetime.
Okay. What's the main reason you still support Trump?
Okay, so I've made a lot of money since he cut our taxes. He passed the big, beautiful bill. He's cut down on crime. He stopped the border, the crime at the border. Inflation has gone down. Gas is much
Inflation
cheaper.
is up.
Inflation's not up at all. What are you talking about? From when Biden was in office to now. And I'm
Yeah,
just telling you, I'm being
September
honest.
of 2024, inflation was at
Right.
2.4%. October was 2.6. November was 2.5. December was 2.9. It was still 2.9 when Biden left office. Then we come into Donald Trump's term, and then we see that, yeah, it went down a little bit, and then now it's trending back up. So May was 2.4%, and now in June, right, because we won't have July's numbers until August 15th, June it's 2.7%. So actually, inflation's climbing back up.
Okay. Now I gotta ask you this honestly. Have you filled up your car lately? Where's gas now? Gas is. I just filled up for $2.63. Okay. Another thing.
My gas
I work
prices
on
haven't
Wall-
changed. They have
I
not
work
gone
on Wall.
down.
Well, let's be real and be honest, please.
I am
Just
being
be
honest. The one that's
What
at
do
the
you-
corner of
I-
my job every freaking day is still, guess what? $2.99.
Okay. When 2 years ago, when Biden was president, it was probably $4. Be honest now. Don't lie.
Yes,
What-
sir.
with gas-
What was happening then? Do you remember what was going on? I
2 years
seem
ago?
to remember that there was like this like huge thing that affected the entire world.
That was
Can you
4 years
remember
ago.
what
That
it
was
was?
COVID.
That
was COVID.
So that
That
was
was
4
4
years
years
ago.
ago.
It ended 4 years
Okay.
ago?
No, it didn't end, but it
It
was
didn't
still
end.
bad.
It
on the Biden.
oh, okay. So right. When did the national emergency end for the United States of America from C-19?
When did the national emergency end?
Yeah.
How are you defining that? The emergency ending. How are you defining that?
When the government ended it.
When you say the government ended it, there was one day where the government came in and ended it.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, what day was that? You tell me. Enlighten me.
May 11th, 2023.
Okay, so May 11, 2023. Now, what happened since then?
Gas prices went down.
Okay. Now, let me also throw this in, please. Very important. Where's the Dow Jones now? Right now. I work down on Wall Street. Where's the Dow right now?
The Dow reached its highest under Biden. You're thinking of the S&P.
The Dow also.
The Dow
yesterday
Jones
was-
hit its highest under Joe Biden,
Okay.
and the S&P
Well, all right, so
500
fine.
hit its highest under Trump.
Under Trump.
I can acknowledge
Okay.
that one, but let's be clear. You're confusing the two, which is why I told you and stopped you up front. You're confusing the two.
So let me get this right. You're
And if you
saying
worked
the
on Wall
economy
Street,
is-
you would know the difference, so there ain't no way.
I know the difference. Of course I know the
Apparently not, because you're like trying to make a claim that the Dow was up. Like, yes, after it bombed under Trump, it's up. Yes, correct. But it has not reached its highest. It has not beat its historical high that we witnessed under Joe Biden's presidency.
difference. Has the Dow hit 45,000 under Trump? Has it hit 45,000 under Trump?
How many companies are in the Dow?
There's 30. Dow Jones 30. Right?
Somebody
Hello?
wanted me to ask you that actually works in investments. And he said
Yeah.
you're right.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know that
Yeah.
answer, but he actually wanted me to ask you that.
That was 30.
I'm
right.
good, Corey. I
know,
won't.
don't listen. I've been working on Wall Street for 40 years. I'm not lying. I'm not a
I'm
BSer.
sure you
I'm
aren't.
just listen. I'm just telling you. We deal in IPOs. Okay, you know what
Exactly,
IPOs are?
Brian. I do
You know what IPOs are?
actually.
Okay, so what the environment is so much better now for IPOs to come out under Trump in this economy than it was under Biden. We almost went out of business, my firm, during the Biden era. And I'm telling you the truth.
And you weren't doing very
you
well.
asked me, what was your original question to me? It was, I voted for Trump, and why do I still support him? And I'm giving you reasons.
Yeah, dude,
And
you made
I
it
know-
very clear, like, that you look down on people when you kept saying the poor people. The poor
What
people.
poor
You
people?
kept.
I didn't call anyone poor people. What did I say? I don't look down on anybody. I'm a middle class person. I have 2 kids, a wife. I live a middle class life. I don't look down on anybody. Why would you
did.
say that?
Because
What did I say?
the language that you used, I already explained to you what you used. So when I would talk about anyone that's lower or middle class, I would say it that way. It's assisted the individuals that are lower middle class or could be in poverty. You specifically used a generic term calling them the poor people. You said the big beautiful bill helping the poor
Right.
people. No tax on tips or overtime is for the poor people. Like
I didn't
you
say that.
said, you
What?
did.
You-
It's okay. You can go
I-
back and roll the clip. This is all recorded.
Roll
It's
the
automatic.
clip. Roll the clip.
No, I said
have
you,
me-
because if I roll back the clip, you can't hear it. That's the thing. My interface doesn't allow for that. So
If anyone's listening to us, I would love if they called in. And I never said I said the big beautiful bill has helped us out. You asked me a question,
no,
and I'm
you didn't
giving you
say
an answer.
us. You said the poor people.
It's helped everybody. The big beautiful bill, and it's let me ask you this question, okay?
Was it the
In
last
27
caller? Okay.
And- Yeah, see, it wasn't me.
No, I was asking a question.
Okay, so listen, in 2017, okay, Trump cut the corporate tax from 35 to 21%. Okay.
Yeah, did
So-
that actually lower prices, or did CPI
That-
still continue to go up?
No, it didn't, and I'm going to tell you something.
Oh,
This is what happened.
okay.
My firm, I'm going to tell you this, and this is truth. So in 2017, when he cut the corporate tax from 35 to 21%, I work for a company. We have
No worries,
30
thanks.
people in my company. We're a small company, okay? So if my boss, the owner of my company, made $1 million, he was paying $350,000 in taxes under previous administration, okay? Obama, and it was 35%. Trump cut it to 21. So now he's paying $210,000. You know what my boss did? He turned around and with that $140,000 savings, gave us all bonuses and raises, and that all helped us.
Then
So
he's not the
when-
norm.
But it happened with everyone. I have a buddy who owns a transmission shop.
No.
He did the same thing.
Your anecdotal stories are not evidence. So we can actually look at the Department of Labor and we can track to see like how the wages went up. Do you want to know when the wages actually peaked and went up?
When?
It was when COVID happened towards the very beginning of 2020. And the reason why is because everyone was laid off. So when the average labor, the wages went up, it's because less people were working, except for the people that still get paid, right? The CEOs, the corporate bosses, all of those people are still getting paid. So then it was skewed for them.
Right. And then everybody eventually came back to work, right? So, and listen, the reason
Thanks, Matt, for subscribing.
no, listen, and the problem is under Biden, the government, see, liberals and Democrats love to spend money, the government's money, okay?
I'm not
and
either
that
of
causes
those.
inflation. That causes inflation. So you're trying to
Oh,
tell
okay.
me honestly.
So I mean, wait, hold on. Spending money causes inflation.
Spend more money chasing after goods and services causes inflation. That's the definition of inflation. That's how it happens.
Gotcha. Trump spent more.
Trump didn't spend more than.
How much is the
He
big
spent
beautiful
more.
bill going to cost us?
You don't know. See, that's the whole thing.
No,
You
I
don't know.
do, because it's actually listed there within the budget. So before they added no tax
That's a
on,
projection.
no, it's actually within the budget. Like, this is how I know people don't read this stuff. It's literally laid out within the big beautiful bill. It's actually in there. People don't read. Listen, I know it's hard for anybody to go through like 900 pages of text. I'll help you guys out. The final version without all of the line spacing is only 330 pages. Okay, so what I'm going to explain to you really quickly is that prior to it going to the Senate, it was already told that it was going to cost $4.5 trillion with only $2.2 trillion in cuts, proposed cuts, that there are no guarantees that they'll actually be able to cut, right? So then that was leaving a deficit of $2.3 trillion. And then when the Senate got done with it, now it's actually going to add $3.3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. It's actually within the bill, sir, how much it's going to cost, very clearly.
Okay, so let's be fair. So right now, do you know what the deficit is right now? Do you know
36.7.
Right, that's right. Very good. Okay, so you're telling me that if I call you back in 2 years from now, the deficit is going to definitely be $40 trillion, right? That's what you're telling me.
What did I say? 3.3 over...
I'm trying to do the math. I'm trying to follow your math.
$3.3 trillion over... Oh, I saw that, Swarovski. Like, even YouTube is listening, and YouTube hates me.
Okay, I don't hate you. I called to have a conversation with you. I don't hate anybody. I don't act like that. I don't hate Democrats. Unfortunately,
I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a liberal.
All right, but it sounds like you're a total Trump hater, though. Like, can you be honest about that? Do you like Donald Trump at all?
I don't like what he's doing in his presidency.
Be honest. Okay.
I gave you my answer.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Now, what policies has he done? Okay, that you specifically really do not like, but you preferred the policies of Joe Biden over Donald Trump. Can you answer me that question?
Sure. So I don't specifically like the big beautiful bill. The First Step Act also predominantly only helped white individuals when he promised it was going to help the black Americans in this country, which was a lie. And he touted to say that he used it to help the black Americans, which was also a lie.
Okay. So, speaking of black Americans...
Trying to get the puppers here. I wasn't done.
Did black Americans have higher wages under Trump?
Not the highest as he claimed. Summer! Lay down. That's not what he claimed. What he claimed is that he had the lowest, and he was wrong. Because he also just lied. There we go. Wanted to put that up there, and I will address it after the caller. Okay. So what he did, here, I'll help you out. So what he did well under his first term, that I actually agreed with, was the fact that he, Operation Warp Speed was good to help push out the C-19 vaccine being made.
Very good.
I'm not done.
That's
yeah. He also made animal cruelty to be a felony instead of just a misdemeanor, which I think is a great thing, to be a federal crime instead of just a low-level crime. And then he also passed the Marine Wildlife Protection Act. That is passed like every 6 to 8 years.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I
But
appreciate.
specifically, I don't appreciate the one big beautiful bill and the things that were thrown inside of it that are going to disproportionately affect the lower middle class and those within poverty. So it's going to adversely affect the most vulnerable among us, including children, which I don't appreciate. The only good parts of the big beautiful bill is making tax cuts permanent for the lower middle class. That's it. Anybody making over $500,000 did not need a permanent tax cut. I don't care. Also, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime was a decent start. However, it has an expiration date. And that's part of my issue. Why weren't those made permanent? Why didn't we take away the tax cuts being permanent for the upper 1% or the super rich to making no tax on overtime and no tax on tips permanent? And why wasn't no tax on Social Security in the bill? But Donald Trump keeps telling everybody it's actually in the bill and it's not.
Okay. No, all right. Listen, I'm not saying the guy.
Yeah, and exactly, Michael. It's also a deduction. It's not even a no tax. It's literally a tax it's a tax deduction at the end of the year up to a certain amount. And that $15,000 that you can deduct for no tax on overtime is going to only be like 2 months of wages for a lot of people. Yes, everyone always likes to attack Streamlabs in the comments. It's funny.
Yeah, no, okay, fine. But the one thing I will always say about Trump is, for better or for worse, the thing I like about Trump, and that's originally how we started our conversation. You're saying, I voted for him. I voted for him twice. I voted for Gary Johnson in 2016. I'm a libertarian at heart, but unfortunately haven't had... yeah, of course I'm a libertarian. You know what the definition of libertarian is? And
if you were a libertarian, you wouldn't vote for anybody that was even talking about taking away personal rights in any way, shape, or form, because that's the core value of libertarianism.
Hearing what I claim a libertarian is.
No, it's not what you claim. There are actual tenets of libertarianism. Do you know any of them?
I'm a social liberal.
So, then, and definitely not a social liberal. Are you kidding me? They're like, no, what? Oh God, no. There is no way you can't take those words back. Take those words out of your mouth. That was actually not okay. That was bonkers. That was bonkers.
Awkward. What are you talking about? Listen, you got to check yourself. You really do. A libertarian.
No, I don't.
Yeah. You're telling me I'm not a libertarian. I've gone to libertarian rallies. You're telling me I'm not. I'm telling you what I'm fiscally conservative and socially liberal. That's how libertarians started. It's basically keep the government out of everything. That's what a libertarian wants.
No,
that's what a libertarian is.
Let's try this again. How many tenets of libertarianism are there again?
What tenets? All right, so you're a libertarian?
You don't know anything.
You're a libertarian?
No, I've actually just done my research. Okay, really quickly. I got some angry people in my chat, so let's give this a try. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Okay. Too bad it doesn't update that quickly. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Real quick. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 50 years old.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, man. Okay, really quickly. Why is that not uploading that? This thing is being really funky. Hold on. I want to read these. Oh, okay. So this is really not working the way it's supposed to. Okay. Jim Pie said profit is revenue minus all costs, including salaries. If costs rise, profits fall. Discussing tax without understanding this is pointless. Salary is always a business cut cost, so higher salaries reduce profit regardless of tax breaks. Hey, Jim Pie, I don't know if you were trying to say that to educate me, but I promise you I actually already know this due to my profession. But thank you. And I do appreciate the 50 euros. Thank you so much. Or sorry, that's pounds. All right. Oh, CR. I always love when people say things like this. Thank you for the $5, just to say. So you support open borders and free shit. Hey, CR. No one is for open borders, including myself, ma'am, which is why I clearly say in all of my lives that I am not a Democrat, nor am I a liberal. And everybody that is a Democrat and a liberal, they don't preach open borders, ma'am. That might actually be a surprise to you, and goodness me, I certainly hope not, because it's just this fallacy that they seem to push on you when you're on the right and you watch things like, I don't know, Fox News. But if you want to know why the term open borders exists and why we had such an influx of immigration under Biden, is maybe it's because everybody, all of the newscasters, thank you, Vera, actually got up on national television and were screaming, the borders are open, the borders are open, even though Kamala Harris actually went out on national television at the very beginning of the presidency and said, don't come. Do not come. And she repeated it multiple times. And as far as when you say free shit, I don't know if you realize this, CR, but the job of the government is to actually take care of its people. So when we're asking for the government to take care of the lowest among us, the least fortunate among us, that's not free shit, ma'am. That's the government doing its job. I hope that helps. You don't want the super wealthy to take a tax break because they will suffer if they do. Thank you, Chris, for the $5. I'm not really sure what you're saying there. They won't suffer if they don't get a tax break. They won't. The super wealthy will not suffer if they don't get a tax break. You know his favorite slogan, what you got to lose. Thanks for the additional $2. I don't know what you're saying there. Again, I'm sorry. CR sent another chat, but this is being really weird. Trying to get it to load. There we go. Oh, they think that they have, like, really good insults. This is the problem with this gal's age group. Get a job! I literally have a career, ma'am. Like, I don't know what time it is for you, but it's well after 5 o'clock for me. And maybe you also don't realize this, but there are 9 recognized time zones in the United States of America. You're just in one. And for me, it's well after 5 o'clock. Which, you know, is the typical time that people get off when they have a career, right? A 9 to 5. There's another one that I have to get to, but Sorosky, thank you for the 5, says, as a person who also works with Wall Street, we don't accept that last caller. Spend this money wisely. You got it, bud. There was a $10 one I have to find. People swear it is. Like, I just don't have a job. My job is a mythical being. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am.
All right. How old are you?
52.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I definitely did.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I have one more chat to read. Mike, thank you for the 10, said, Operation Warp Speed, don't forget that while he did greenlight it, it was also Trump's action that led to C-19 becoming a pandemic in the first place. I don't disagree with you, Mike. Inaction or action, you can say either way. All right, so, caller, sorry about that. What is your main reason for still supporting Trump?
Pretty much immigration. Just the legal way.
Okay, can you explain to me what the legal process is?
Sure, coming over here, documenting yourself, either getting, visa pass, school voucher. If you're here for 2 years, okay, that you got to go back. It's just a process that because every year, I don't know the exact number, but I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 legal immigration. We've already had that prior to, the Biden administration, and just hella influx.
Okay. So what is it that they tally up at the border? Like CBP, what does Customs and Border Protection do at the border? What do they tally up on their website?
Oh, I to be honest, no, I haven't been on the website. I've gone across the border. Have you ever walked across the border? I lived in Texas for a little bit, and we'd go down to Mexico, get some goods or whatever, with family and stuff like that, and come back. It's almost like the airport.
Ma'am, I'm so happy I heard your feelings in the comments. Sorry, that's not for you. Okay, so what CBP does is they tally up encounters. So an encounter means that they stopped individuals such as yourself, right, going across the border, and they check your papers, they vet you, they make sure you are who you say you are, etc. All right? So the number that you're espousing or trying to talk about is actually the number of encounters that happen at the southern border under Joe Biden's presidency. And what we know about these encounters is that at just the southern border alone, there was 8.4 million encounters. Encounters does not mean individuals allowed into the country.
Okay.
Encounters just means people that they stopped. Now, there's another number that they keep track of, and that's called apprehensions. And so what we know is apprehensions are the people that when they were crossing, and this can be like, just remember, encounters are at any point on the southern border that they stopped, right? And this includes our water border around Florida, right? And apprehensions is any single person that they stopped, either at a port of entry, a non-port of entry, or within 100 miles of the border. Okay?
Sure.
Any person that they stopped, right? And
Anybody.
That number was, and I might have this one off just a little bit. I might be off on the last number, but it was at least 6.3 million apprehensions. And apprehensions are the people that were pushed back out of the country. Right?
And what time
so
period
they
was
weren't
that?
let that over the total of his 4 years, sir.
Okay.
Right? So this is in his entire time in office. Okay?
Yep.
Granted, though, that does count a little bit of the last part of Donald Trump's administration because they count it by the fiscal year, which ends September 30th of every single year. So it's really
Right.
October 1st, 2020
Yeah.
through
Yeah, I know.
September 30th, 2024.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that under the 4 years of Biden,
Mm-hmm.
it was government as normal. He did the same as the prior administration, which was Trump. He did before that administration is Obama. So everything that the last 4 years by
Deportations were still happening under Joe Biden the entire time he was in office. CBP was following the same rules and regulations that they've always followed, no matter who's president, as long as their agency rules have been updated. It's literally like they're all following the same rules. Okay.
Right. So what you're saying is, if I'm hearing it correctly, is like the last 4 of Biden's administration, the numbers were the same. So I guess what was, being pumped through Fox News or OAN News
Yeah, what they like to use to say
fabricated.
that the people that came in under Biden were the
Yeah, just
apprehension numbers
fabricated.
and not the encounters, because people understand what encounters mean at this point, right? But
Yeah, it's like
they're
getting
trying
pulled
to say
over,
that the
getting a ticket or
people.
something.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
that's an encounter. If you get pulled over on the side of the road, for like
I
just
mean,
driving, that's
that
an
would be an
encounter, right?
encounter
No,
with
it's
the
just an
cops.
encounter. I mean, we
Is
can
it
hit it with
seriously?
another adjective and stuff, but it's an encounter. Hey, I see you. How you doing? That's an encounter. Not a drone. A drone just looking at you. That's not an encounter. That's a getaway.
No, what did I say involving with encounters? Anyone that stopped within how many miles of the border?
Oh, honey, come on. You don't have to school me.
No,
It's,
this is
it's just
important. When you're
one
bringing
zero
up the
zero. No,
technology,
I got all that. I've lived
okay.
in Texas, and I've been in Texas, and I've gone to South Padre. Right? I lived in Austin. I go to South Padre. If you're not familiar, it seems like you're on the West Coast or something over there. Okay, so South Padre, still in Texas. I go down there. It takes about 2 hours. It's on the coast. I'm leaving South Padre. It's like the beach or whatever. I'm coming back up to Texas. I'm driving 25 miles up. I'm going through a border patrol, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
100 miles up, you'll have another border patrol. And what you're saying is that's an encounter, right?
If they stop someone, yes, within
Oh, no, they
100.
stopped everybody. They stopped everybody because I made a joke about it in the car.
Yes, anybody that's
It was so
going
funny.
through the port of entries immediately
That's an
gets
encounter.
stopped. Yes,
It's
everyone
it's
that
an
goes
encounter.
through the designated port of entries immediately gets stopped. But encounters are
That's the
also
word. That's
including
the word.
the
Designated.
individuals.
That is the word, though.
A number of encounters include individuals that are encountered even through non-ports of entry, sir.
What, in like someone's backyard of a ranch?
Anywhere
Are you
within
counting those? I mean,
100 miles of where the border is, sir. Yes.
oh, it's not that perfect. It's really not that perfect. Okay, okay.
I know. I just don't think you understand what CBP's job is.
Oh, I do. I do. I just don't. I think you're making it so perfect that it's not. You know what I'm saying? I just think that, yeah, you do it the right way. This is what you're going to see. I got that. But we were seeing a lot of the wrong way.
That's your assumption.
And then, well, of course. I mean, everybody's got an opinion, but okay. So I don't know what line of work you are, if this is the only thing you do. If it
I
is,
literally said before you called that I have a career.
okay. Hang on. I did not hear that. I just muted because I'm watching it and I muted it. So, getting that feedback. But, so I'm thinking you don't come in contact with, I don't know. I don't want to say the common people because that puts you up on a pedestal. Just regular. Just there's no way that you couldn't see. And the one thing that really bothers me, good or wrong, it is what it is, and people will deal with it, is I think the United States failed our immigration system. I think us as Americans, we failed the immigration system, the immigrants that are coming in, and they always come in, and they should always come in. But I think we failed them because there's no assimilation anymore.
I'm sorry. Well, repeat that last part.
There's no assimilation anymore
Why does somebody have to assimilate?
because you're going into someone's country.
Are
went
you
into
required to speak Spanish
hang
when
on.
you
No,
go
whoa,
into
whoa.
Mexico?
No. If I'm visiting, no.
Okay.
No, I got my,
What is
No.
required of individuals when they take the citizenship test?
what's required.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I took it back in high school, and what bothers me is I got kids that are your age that I know none of y'all took civics.
No, I didn't say civics test, sir. I said, oh my gosh.
Say again.
The citizenship test.
Right, but that's a civics class. Back in my school, in high school, we took civics, which is
Yeah, I know what civics is, which is why I know the three branches of government. I know how many senators we have. I know how many House representatives we have. I know random state capitals for no freaking reason.
Mermaid.
I had
Mermaid, I
to
know you
list
do.
out
I know
every
you do. That's
single
why I watch
on a
That's
map
why I
where
watch
what the name of
I know you
each
know
and
all this.
every single state was. Yeah, we all took civics. I don't know
I
if they're
know.
still teaching it
No,
today,
no,
but
we all don't.
but the
You do.
citizenship
You
test
do.
is not the same as a civics government class test. Okay. The citizenship test.
It's not a test. It's just a class. It's a class that's teaching you. If you needed to take the test, it's going to teach you the Bill of Rights. It's going to teach you the Constitution. It's going to teach you all this. It's a class. But I got kids like you, your age, that have never taken it. It's been pulled. If you really think of what is going on, like it's almost like math, like Common Core math. Blows my mind. You know why they did that? Is to take parents away from kids. Because it's like, I'm looking at my kids. I can't help them. I know the answer, but I'm not teaching them the way that they're getting taught. Do you understand? It's like a little higher up.
I don't think
that
this
will,
guy
like,
thinks
say, just a little
realizes
bit,
I
let me
was
just
talking
pull
about
this apart
immigration.
just a little bit. And I wasn't taught that way. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Do you know core math? Like it changed, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind.
That's a good point.
That's what
Outlaw.
that's what government does. I mean, government
Don't
just
forget that
slowly,
follow-up, guys.
you know, they're just going to change things. You're talking generational, and it changes. That's all. And I'm getting old. I'm not old, but you know, I just look at stuff now.
Okay, so let's try this again because I don't think you understood. So we were talking about immigration and immigrants, in your opinion, needing to assimilate. So when I ask you what are the requirements for the citizenship test, and then to take like the oath, can like there's a specific answer here.
Okay, which one are you looking for? I don't know what you're looking for that you want me to answer, and that's fine. But assimilate.
The oath of
Speak English.
the oath.
Just give me a chance. Just
the oath has to be given in English.
the oath of what?
The oath for the naturalization
No, I
oath.
understand.
Yeah.
Do you know how to memorize things?
Guess
Do you know
what?
How to memorize
Hey,
things?
the citizenship
Okay, I can
test.
memorize too.
The citizenship test is also given to individuals in English.
Oh my God! Don't take this the wrong way, but the way you're like talking to me right now, it's like you're whispering like Joe Biden. Hey,
It's called gentle
patronizing thing.
parrying.
But go ahead, I'm listening.
It's called gentle parenting.
Oh, I
Parenting,
know.
if I'm being honest.
Okay, thank you. It's like a pat on the head or something. Yeah.
Sure. However you need to take it. I don't know what your issue is with math. That was a very interesting segue there, I guess. But as far as assimilating goes, they have to be able to read and write in English in order to take the citizenship test. They only allow certain exceptions based upon age and then a disability if they have them. And then you have to give your oath in English. And while you want to claim and say, well, do you know what memorization is? A memorization isn't going to help you get through a test where the answers are not the same. So you would have to claim that they're all going to have to memorize, I don't know, over 100 questions and answers in order to take it. Like that to me is crazy. What more do they need to do if when they become a citizen they have to speak, read, and understand English?
Okay, this would be good, and I don't know the answer. I really don't, and I don't expect you to. But let's think about this. Okay, let's just say you go over to another country. I don't know. Let's pull one out. Let's say Poland. Be a citizen there. What would you have to do? I don't know. I'm not asking you to look it up. but I'm sure that their country has certain things that they have to, that a person coming there that wants to be a citizen has to do. Correct?
Yeah.
Don't you think? I would
Yeah,
think.
just like
Okay.
almost
All right.
every other country does. I think if I was going to move to another country, though, I'd probably move to the easiest one that also speaks English as its primary language, and that might be Canada, or a couple of random African countries.
They
that
got some
also.
Frenchies up there. They got some Frenchies.
Yes, because they understand that it's a bilingual country.
Yeah, what are we? Multilingual. And we
No,
let
do
it that way.
do you know what
And we
all of the
because we
foreign
care. Now
countries?
you know.
Hey, I'm
Oh,
gonna. Hey, let me
my
run
God,
this
we
joke with
care
you real
so
quick.
much.
Let me run this joke with you real quick,
All right.
okay?
All right. Go
All
ahead.
right.
I like jokes.
What do you call someone that speaks more than one language?
A liar.
No, it's bilingual. What do you call someone that speaks more than two languages?
All right. Trilingual.
Multilingual. What do you call someone that speaks only one language?
Stupid.
American. That's a joke that I've
Wow.
heard from
Wow. No.
multiple
Okay,
international individuals.
that is a good joke. It is.
Yeah.
Because you know why? You know why it is a joke? And I love just to analyze jokes. Is because that we think, when I say we, United States, we are the shit. And to take that away from us, I like to think we're the shit. Do you like to think you're the shit?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I really like, because it's almost like you feel good about yourself. Like, you know, hey,
I
my
don't feel
family.
good because of how.
No. You got to be proud. You got to be proud. So what went wrong that you're not proud of your big extended family? What went wrong?
Donald
I'm
Trump
asking you,
was
I'm being
elected into presidency for a second time for another go at office to ruin the country
Okay.
with J.D. Vance, who also called Donald Trump Shitler, right, in 2022 when he was running for the Senate. So we know that, right, with J.D. Vance as his running mate, the guy that literally turned over for him. And like, let's not forget all the insults that Trump slew back and forth with Marco Rubio, and also brought up Marco Rubio's family to insult him as well. So we literally just had a bunch of people that bent over, right? Bent over and showed their whole
that
whole
is
behind,
politics. That's
whole
politics.
behind for Trump in order to get
Man, you just
ahead,
don't know what
right?
politics are.
I don't
Yeah.
support a president
listening.
that talks about annexing our neighbor Canada, right? Because in modern day history, we see that annexation
Oh my God.
involves a use of force.
Sometimes you got to listen to
I don't agree
just
with the
know
president that talks
that
about
he's just
purchasing
ruffling
another
feathers.
country known as Greenland,
Ruffling
or
feathers.
I
And
also
that's
don't
what he
support
does.
a
It's like a
country that
trigger.
talks about
He's a
taking
trigger.
back the Panama Canal when it was rightfully given back to Panama, which is its own country, in 1999 because of riots that broke out due to
I
our
know you already
military
said this.
occupation.
I've you for a couple of weeks, and you do go to those talking points. I got that.
Right,
And you know
because
your shit.
I don't support a president that talks about
let me ask you
starting
this.
fires with other countries, which is what
All
he's
right.
doing.
All right.
And
I
you all
got it. I
just
can hear it
you
in
all
your
just
voice.
want to wash
hear
it
it in your
away and
voice
just say
that
it's
you
all a
got
joke, but it's not a
disdain
joke
for him.
when it
I got
continues
this.
and continues
I
and
got-
continues to be
When
talked
would
about
you-
6 months later.
What
Really 8
past
months. It started in
president-
December.
What past president did you feel comfortable with? And I know we can't go too far back because you're not that old, and that's not a dig. It's just reality.
Obama.
So all you got is Trump. All you got is, well, you got a little bit of Obama. I think you might have been like probably 17, probably maybe. But okay, Obama was good. He was good.
This was
he was
actually-
helping change.
This is a good one. Gimpy,
What?
or I actually think I'm finally saying it right. Gimpy wants to know what your favorite thing that's said by Rupert Murdoch is.
Oh, favorite thing that was sent. What do you mean?
No, said by Rupert Murdoch.
All right. When you say Murdoch, I'm just thinking of that father that killed his wife and son.
No,
Is that the
Rupert
Murdoch?
Murdoch.
Oh, okay. Who is he? Just tell me who he is. I might not know him by name, but who is he? And then I can probably say something. Trying to keep it real.
He's a media mogul.
Media shit. Okay, CNN. I wouldn't know. I'm being honest. I would not know. What did he say though? Or
He's.
what was the question again?
Do you watch Fox News?
I do watch Fox. I watch
He's the owner
MSNBC.
of Fox News.
Of Fox. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sorry. What was the question again?
What's your favorite thing that Rupert Murdoch says? Or, you know what? What is your favorite critique that Fox News has said about the Biden administration?
Is he the guy? I swear to God, I'm not trying to cut you off, but is he the guy that sits on the panel of CNN? That white guy, the white skinny dude?
No.
Is that him?
That's Jesse.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. No,
Actually, you know, you
no.
brought up
All
Jesse
right.
Waters. So what's your favorite
I did not.
joke?
I never said Waters. No, I didn't. But
Well,
go ahead. All right.
He's the one that sits on the panel of 5 all the way over to like one side. I've seen him on
it's
some
his
things.
world. It's his world. I know.
So what's your favorite
Yeah.
joke that Jesse Waters has told, or your favorite critique of the Biden administration by Jesse Waters, or even of the Democratic candidate
I'm being honest.
from
Okay. Listen,
2024?
I'm being honest. Okay. I'm not Jesse Water fan. I'm being honest. I listen to him. Yeah, whatever. Like Greg is pretty cool. He's a little bit like my age oriented, so he does some satire and some funny ass shit. You know, Greg. I know him, so I can call him Greg. Gutfeld. Gutfeld. He's on the 5 also.
I don't watch Fox Entertainment because they're not even a licensed news agency. So I don't know if you realize this, but they were sued, right? And they settled out of court. And when they settled out of court, because they were sued for lying, right? When they settled out of court, Fox said, no, we're Fox Entertainment. We're not Fox News. No one in their right mind would believe the things that we say. So they settled out of court because Fox News is not news, it's entertainment. But have a good one, man.
Hang on.
Nope, I'm done. Like, that was way too long, and I've got a bunch of stuff to catch up on. Master on Fence said, thank you for the 10. Just wanted to say, W Stream, Trump supporters need a serious reality check. They do. Like, I don't know, like, how out of touch someone has to be to think that when we're talking about immigration and I bring up the citizenship test, they go to Common Core math. That was something, man. 3 reasons I don't support Trump. Well, Twisty, if you were here long enough, I think you heard them, right? Annexation, talks of annexation of Canada, talk about buying Greenland, and talks about taking back the Panama Canal, which again was rightfully given back. The land was rightfully given back to Panama by congressional approval. Guys, this is just for my gift gallery. If anybody wants to help hit it, it's not required. Oh, thank you, CJ. CJ's like, bet. Daryl, no. I guess technically on the political spectrum, I rank to be left only because I am a progressive, but I don't really consider myself a leftist. Gotcha, Chris. Okay. Trump's slogan is, what do you got to lose? I understand now. Thank you, Chris, for clarifying. Because I don't know his favorite. Didn't know that. Soroski also said, the fact that people don't do research before calling in hurts my brain. P.S. Chat, don't ask me for tax advice. Have a good weekend, Ari and chat. Thank you, Soroski, and thank you for being here, man. Gimpy said, I bring this up because your caller said his boss paid higher salaries after the tax break, which makes no sense. Caller using Mr. Murdoch. I got you. Okay, that makes much more sense. Because I was like, hold on. I actually, my career is in accounting. So, like, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll back again. It was doing weird stuff. Okay. Your argument about JD Vance slash Shitler, etc., doesn't hold water when Kamala Harris called Joe Biden Jim Crow. Joe then joined him as VP. No, she didn't call him Jim Crow. I'm so glad nobody actually listens to anything because those words didn't come out of her mouth. Like, I'm just saying. All right. This keeps scrolling on me. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. Blartners, thank you for the 10. You deserve this 10 just for doing this live. I appreciate that because this is a lot. Like, y'all hear some of these phone calls and conversation, and this is a lot. Okay. Project said, thank you for putting up with this stuff. I wouldn't have the patience to put up with this. No, dude, sometimes I don't know how I do it. Thank you for the Canadian $6.99. Gina said, love your stream. Would you ever consider collaborating with Polypolitics? 1 second. Hey, Gina. We already do. Thank you. I love that one. I tried, guys. I tried. He's cooking, so. So what Gimpy Foley said was, can you ask each of your Trump supporters which of their favorite talking points was given to them by Rupert Murdoch? I'm saying, I don't know why I struggle with Rupert so much. And what's their favorite thing they know about him? They are all just puppets for him, prove otherwise. Fox, Wall Street Journal, and New York Post. Yeah. Yeah. Pros and cons of libertarian and classic liberal. I think libertarian doesn't have strong enough values, to be honest. I agree with their view of actually supporting individual rights, but they don't support the government upholding those individual rights or applying it to everybody equally, and that's kind of a part that I don't like about it. Liberals get too hung up on being pristine. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, Daddy.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 29 years old.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And do you still support him?
Honestly, I'm just gonna level with you.
Okay.
I voted for him to get into office. His 2016 run was chaotic. Joe Biden was horrible. But I needed him to win this election in order to create even more chaos so we can get someone reasonable in office.
So you voted in someone that you knew was going to hurt other people?
Well, you say hurt other people as in what way? I mean, the way I view it is he's just enforcing laws that were enforced. He's just making it stricter. He's tightening the grip in which Democrats have to talk to young men. The pendulum. He's there to make the pendulum swing the other way, from going super left to now swinging right. And let's face it, Trump's a Democrat from the 90s.
No, he's not.
See, he is, because the Democrats in the 90s wanted the wall. They wanted immigration to be stopped. They wanted reasonable checks, balances, and it wasn't until past Obama, I would say, maybe Obama's second election, that they started going kind of crazy with it, you know?
Crazy with
really,
what?
really progressive. What's that?
Crazy with what? What were the Democrats going crazy with?
So the way I would explain it is, so I started off, let me just put it this way. I loved Obama for what he did. His early campaign, completely reasonable. That's where I'm at. Because I'm not even a Republican. I shouldn't even be conservative. I was independent. and all my friends were Democrat and Republican. But over the years, as I aged, everybody that I knew that was independent with me turned in conservatives. The pendulum swung so far, I would say maybe like 2018 or so, it just started going crazy. Everybody just went straight left if they were Democrat, and everybody kind of followed. And no one was here on the right to correct it, and the country was going into chaos. So I voted for Trump, honestly, to be the chaos incarnate, be in office. I want him to be dumb. I want him to be stupid. I didn't want the Iran bombings, of course. That was unpredictable, but it happened. The Epstein files, he did promise. I wanted them. He didn't do that.
Okay.
So I mean, honestly, the way I viewed it was Kamala Harris was worst case scenario entirely, and we could not have that.
Yes, it was a wish list, Lala. That's what this sounded like to me. Have you ever heard of the Overton window?
Of course.
Yeah, and do you know where we sit on that now?
Honestly, to you, I have no idea.
Yeah, we sit, so let's say that we have, let's say this is, sorry, you can't see, but for the rest of the chat, let's say that my lip balm is a sliding scale, right? I know the blue's all the way over here, so let's just open this up and try to make this a little bit even. Okay, so where the blue meets the red, this actually works pretty well. The blue meets the pink, right? So this is blue, this is pink, right? So we should be in the middle at every time. We should always be centrist, okay? Our Overton window right now puts us about pretty close to being far, far right. If you look at us compared to the rest of the world, where we sit, the Liberal Party, the Democratic Party, which would be liberals everywhere else, is center right. They're not even left, sir. They're not even left.
But those are that's a whole entire continent. It's across the sea.
No,
it's a
sir,
different system.
It's not. It's not. It's not even across the sea. Does Canada not exist? How about Mexico? How about South America? Just even looking at Canada, comparing us to Canada, we are still center right. We are still the Democratic Party right now compared to the rest of the world, including Canada, Mexico, South America, and then yes, Europe and Asia and Australia, okay? Can include all of those. We are center right. The Democratic Party themselves are center right. So when I call myself a progressive, I am far away from them. I am far into the blue because we don't do enough in our country. We don't do enough for the people in our country and helping the people within our country. Okay? What you're supporting, and honestly, you said a lot of, I don't even know. You said a lot of words that went kind of nowhere that a lot of people didn't even understand. Like, if you wanted someone to be close to the center, you should have voted for Harris. If you wanted someone to be a moderate, you should have voted for Harris. Instead, you voted for an equivalent of a neo-schmatzi trying to take us back to Nazi Germany. Sorry, TikTok. This is for educational purposes only. Don't hate me. Anyways, and like, even for the person spamming in my comments, Harris is far left. According to who? According to Donald Trump? According to Donald Trump, everyone is far left, right? Like, according to him, everyone that he's ever campaigned against is so far left, they're going to somehow ruin the country. Everyone's always so far left. Let's be clear about the things that she walked away from that would have made her left, right? Or far left. Universal health care. She didn't campaign on that. Right? That is a progressive or a leftist policy. She did not campaign on that. Okay? And that's something I don't like about her. If you look at all of the other top nations, so if we say that there are 33 nations in the world, that are considered the most industrialized. 32 of them have universal health care. Only one doesn't. Do you know which one that is?
Oh, I don't even want to argue.
Oh, no,
on healthcare.
I'm not
The US
asking
has
you
a-
about it. I'm asking you a very specific question. What is the only country out of 33 countries that does not have universal health care?
Oh, I guarantee it's the U.S.
It's the United States of America, correct. Because even countries with a larger population and a smaller GDP, like India and China, offer their citizens automatically universal health care. We have a significantly smaller population than both of these countries with a greater GDP, and we have private health insurance that people still die from. That people still have to wait 6 months to get a referral, to go in and see the referral. They can call an eye doctor and still have to wait 6 months out. They can call a dentist and still have to wait 6 months out. And thank you,
So can
Social,
I
for
ask you
resubscribing. Like
Can I
we
ask you an
are
honest
so
question?
the fact that the Democratic Party, the reason why they can't even be considered left anymore compared to the rest of the world and they are center right is because they don't advocate for basic things that are considered human rights in the rest of the freaking world except for the United States of America. What's your question?
The question to you is, I understand that you don't like Trump, but would you agree with me that him being in office right now is the best thing to happen for this country in the next election cycle?
No. What? Thank you, Leah.
Yes, because it's absolute and utter chaos, and we're going to get, let's face facts here, the Democrats have no one young to run on. The Republicans are, Lord have mercy, they're gone. I mean, we need young people in Congress and Senate and young people to be
I mean, I don't
president.
disagree with you. We do need younger people in office.
I think I voted for Trump, and the only reason for that was I didn't care about immigration. I work construction. I deal with these people. They work normal lives. They just want to live life. I could care less about that. The only thing I really, truly care about is people getting upset at the status quo. And honest to God, I'm so happy he floundered on the Epstein stuff. I want everybody to hound him nonstop. I want people to hate him, and that way the Democrats can find someone young, the Republicans can get someone young, and we can get new energy in, and this pendulum can swing in a direction to where people aren't rioting in the streets anymore. Extreme left doesn't exist. Extreme right, it comes closer to the center, and we can be back to where it was in the 30s and 20s.
Do you know what happens when you have someone that is a far right candidate in office?
Yeah, absolutely.
People become
I do.
accepting of it. So when you're saying that the far right's no longer going to exist because Donald Trump is president, that's absolutely not true. Things that happen or that are occurring under this presidency will become the normal, sir. It will become the expectation, the societal expectation, especially to the younger generation that grows up in it. That's not how it works. Because would you agree or disagree that the office of president is a position that people look up to?
I agree with that 100%.
So why on earth would you want someone that operates this country as a far-right authoritarian to be in office and then expect that somehow to shift back the Overton window where people are going to want more moderates?
Because it's gonna go so far to the extreme, and people are gonna realize, they're gonna realize what's occurring, and then shift it back. That's what I
a
want
beautiful
history to do.
assumption that's not going to occur.
See, the second option of that is we go through the fourth turning, and that is something that we both don't want. we just needed to go back. We need to shift. The economy was going to go through another Great Depression. It's going to have to happen. Everything needs to crash, and then we need to rebuild. That's my view.
Accelerationists are just so wackadoodles.
It's not that whack. It is. I'm not going to lie. But
How long, remind me of something real quick.
yeah.
How long was Hitler in power?
Was it 1931 to 45?
Yeah.
So.
And everyone became
14 years?
accepting of it during his time, correct?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is true.
Thank you. Yeah, 12 years. It was 33 to 45. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello, howdy, how's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, first I just want to say, you put on a great show here, and it's quite fun to watch. I do support Trump. I voted for Trump. I'm 39, and
Thank you.
yeah, just get that out of the way. So I'm kind of like a more older school Republican, and we certainly have a lot of things that we can agree on and what we don't like about Trump. But I am a big fan of things like what the right originally stood for, like lower taxes, what's it called? Immigration rules, things like that.
Okay.
And I kind of want to start about the immigration a little bit because that seems to be a pretty sensitive topic for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's just a common topic that people think
Oh,
they know
well, we don't
something
have to talk about it.
No, you're fine. Just really quickly, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a quick PSA for my life. Awesome. I haven't done one. TikTok, don't freak out. I'm going to mute you for a second. Okay. Just a reminder, over on YouTube, we do have super chats and memberships available. If you send a super chat, it does get addressed. It just might take me a moment. It does get addressed after the caller, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the top. Perfect. And back over on the Tiki-Talkie. Guys, the like goal was updated a while ago for 100,000 likes. We're at 87,000 likes. Let's go ahead and drive the likes up to 100K really quickly. After that, it'll be 150. There are 479 people in here. I know there's plenty of you that don't follow me already. So hit that follow button up at the top, please. And then don't forget, we do have a live goal going on. And help me reach it. It does just help push this out more so we can continue to have these conversations. All right, caller. Sorry about that. Thank you, Jinx.
Oh, you're good.
So you want to address immigration?
No, I mean, honestly, a lot's been said about it. I mean, I'll tell you a few things that I believe in, so things I can speak more, a little bit better on, is I actually come from an environmental sciences background, and, I believe in things like tragedy of the commons, things like the Laffer curve, which is like an economic principle on taxation for how much you should tax your, people. And over time, I feel like the Republicans are more closely in line with those goals. And Trump is the current leader of the party. I mean, again, there's lots of things I don't like about him. I don't like his abrasiveness and the way he goes about things. But overall, they are attempting to implement the policies that I support. So, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for leveling up, Janie. Okay. So, all right. What do you want to address?
Well, okay. I'd like to talk about taxes for a minute.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with the Laffer curve?
No.
No. Okay. It's pretty simple. It's basically just a short graph that shows that once you go above a certain tax rate, you'll actually start reducing the income drawn in by your nation because people just stop working, for example. And it kind of depends, but statistically, it's around like 33% actually. And so when we talk about like taxing billionaires or taxing people in general, I really think that no one should go above that amount, and it's anything over that I feel like is actually kind of shooting us in the foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it suggests that the Laffer curve itself suggests that some tax cuts can increase revenue, but it doesn't imply that all tax cuts will lead to that outcome. and that a lower tax rate directly reduces the revenue collected per dollar of the tax base.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Thanks,
yeah.
Jimmy.
Nice. I'm not in front of my computer right now, but anyway, so another one that I'm a big fan of is, again, I come from environmental science, and I'm an agricultural kind of guy, and so tragedy of the commons is another wonderful concept that I think should be bipartisan, but it's kind of a concept of how you should manage your natural resources. And when I see the left, the Democrats, they come from a place of emotion when it comes to conserving resources, and I feel like Republicans come from a place of, industry, I guess is the word, and they do lean a little bit more towards like, hey, we need this material, we'll get it, and it's not necessarily good for the environment all the time. However, if you manage your resources properly, you can get somewhat indefinite amount. And I'm not talking about oil, okay? I'm talking about like renewable natural resources, for example. And I would love to see more of that, especially things like soil science. And, the way we're going with agriculture is quite impressive. The food shortages and things like that really should not be in existence right now. It's something I wish neither side really talks about. So one thing I did like about Harris was she wanted to build more houses. But that was about the only thing I really liked about her. And my other big thing is kind of y'all probably heavily disagree with me, but I think Trump is the lesser evil because there are some policies that the left likes that I feel like would drag us into doom, like some socialist things, gun control, those bigger, broader things. So
gun control isn't a socialist idea, sir. It's a safety idea. Because if you want to say that, then I would say that there are countries like Switzerland that would actually be considered a socialist country, and their adults all have weapons. And they also have almost no.
Switzerland?
Yeah, that's why I brought them up, because most people don't. Like, they would be considered like a very leftist country, pretty liberal. You could call them socialist. They have socialist policies, right? And they all have firearms. And so gun control, like being socialist, is not it. Gun control.
Okay, well, that's a fair example, but the fact is that those folks in Switzerland have the power to change that if they want to. But if they take our guns away, we would not have that power. That's very important. It's like the reason for the Second Amendment.
Do you know when I always hear that they're gonna take your guns? I always hear that from the NRA. The NRA always starts it, because you know what happens every time a school shooting happens? And the NRA starts screaming that?
Oh, the NRA, their lobbying is terrible.
No, it's not about lobbying, sir. They see their membership purchases increase. We have statistical data that shows this. And we also see firearm purchases increase across the country every time a school shooting occurs, because the NRA is putting out lobbying messages. They're paying for ads.
Seems like a pretty fair response. If my child is threatened for me to go out and buy a gun, forgetting about some NRA third entity.
No, it's because they are putting out ads on TV saying that the Democratic Party wants to take away your gun. And I have very interesting news for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
They don't try to pass anything in Congress. So the Democratic Party isn't doing shit to touch your guns. Neither are the Republicans. They're not doing anything.
They run on it all the time. It was one of Harris's big points. She said that she wanted to...
She was proposing red flag laws. Do you know what a red flag law is?
Not only that, but she also wanted stricter gun control measures, including a ban on assault weapons altogether and high-capacity magazines.
An
which
AWB.
Would cripple the American people's
No, it wouldn't.
ability
It would not. It would not. An AWB, the one that she actually one hit, was to stop manufacturing and the sell. It wouldn't take away your gun, sir. It would be the same ban that existed and that was put in place in 1994 that stayed in place for 10 years because the Supreme Court found it to be completely constitutional. Right? It was just only a 10-year ban. And all it did was stop the manufacturing and the sell and purchases of those weapons. That was it. It did not make anybody have to turn over their guns.
But we can get into nuances, but let me ask you one question.
No, this is very specific. Like, this isn't about nuance.
No,
or,
I can
like,
make it real
it's-
simple. Do you think I should be able to own a semi-automatic assault rifle?
Absolutely not.
See,
No one
then
should.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to go any farther than that.
Why do you
That's
need
the
it?
disagreement.
Why do you need an assault rifle, sir?
I just told you. The reason why is because in the event of the people need to overthrow a government, they have the power to do so. The power must remain in the hands of the people.
No, that's not even a part of the Second Amendment. You guys are absolutely just bonkers when you say stuff like that. I'm sorry, you are. Because it's not even a part of the Second Amendment. It's not even part of the Federalist Papers. You guys don't know anything about your history.
The right to bear arms. Well, let's read it. Let's read it.
Oh, you want me to read it? Cool. Don't forget the commas if you're going to read it out loud.
All right.
No worries. I'm going to pull it directly from congress.gov.
I can read. Well, well-regulated militia being necessary to
Oh, no,
the
you
security
forgot the
of the
commas,
free state.
sir. Guess what? Grammar is important. The commas are important. It's right up on my screen. So we're going to say this, okay? A well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. So, when it's talking about originally the militia in the original workings of the Second Amendment, which was redecided based on the Heller decision, right? But the original workings of the Second Amendment were meant about an actual state-regulated militia. That's why it says a well-regulated militia. It was to keep the state itself free, not the people individually in that state free, right? So when it was talking about that, again... Yes, I know you probably don't understand this, but I'm explaining it to you how it was broken down in the Federalist Papers and then how the Heller decision actually
I don't
affected
insult your
this.
intelligence, okay?
Again, so well-regulated militia applied in today's society would be the National Guard because it's also managed by the state. That is what that original sentence actually meant originally.
No, it did not
referring...
mean the National Guard. It did not mean the National Guard.
Then define
the
militia,
National Guard
sir.
didn't exist.
No, I'm explaining.
well, you have the
What did I
Minutemen.
say before
The
that?
Minutemen.
What did I say before that? I said applied to in today's society would be the state-regulated National Guard. I didn't say back then, sir, because
Well,
it
we're
had
referring
different
to-
words at that time. Like
The Minutemen were the original people, the civilians that picked up arms, and those are the people that they're talking about. So we have a dispute on the grammar because of, I guess, a comma. But I mean, that's fine. At least we know where our disputes are. But I'm going to let you go, so you don't hang up on me. I thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
And I hope, yeah. And honestly, that was fun. I'm not the best speaker. Thank you so much. You'll have a great day.
yappity yap. That's what you did. You yapped a lot. Listen, I am not saying that individuals can't own firearms. That was well decided upon in the Heller decision. We know that. We acknowledge this. He doesn't know what a militia is. He doesn't understand what was actually written within the Federalist Papers. Like, good point, Jockler. Thank you for the 5. What definition of assault rifle y'all talking about? Also, Heller is now kind of outdated by Bruin, but in the standard applied to scrutinizing laws on guns. Okay. I couldn't remember the name of the other Supreme Court decision. Thank you, Jocular. It's just, they don't understand. I don't understand why they never understand. And yes, they always run from grammar. That is very much true. Thank you. It's very much true. All right, let's see. I smell food being cooked, and I hope Gina was still in here to see the pop up. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Kill yourself, you stupid retarded ass.
I'm good. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
How old are you?
28.
All right. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, both times.
Both
Or 3
times.
times.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
still
3
support him?
I do.
All right. And why do you still support Trump?
Largely he's implementing what I voted for. There are things that I disagree with him on, that I always have disagreed with him on. I don't think that there's necessarily any candidate that perfectly has ever represented what I believe in, but largely I agree more with Trump's agenda than I did with Harris's agenda, so I still support him. Specifically, the things that I dislike about, like, Harris's agenda, for instance, would have been
I'm not here to rehash the election. I don't really care why people specifically voted for one candidate over the other. I care about talking about what the President of the United States is actively doing while he's in office. So you said that there are many reasons why you still support him. Let's try this again. What specifically is Trump doing so far that you like or agree with? And just start with your main thing.
Sure. Let's go with deportation. That's controversial, and I agree with what he's doing on deportation.
All right. What part of it do you agree with?
The entire policy, cutting down the border, giving Border Patrol and ICE whatever they need to enforce that. And I believe that if you are here illegally, you should be removed from the country. I think that the way that they're doing it, they've instituted a policy where you can self-deport and they will pay for you to go back to your country of origin, or if you refuse to do that, then they will remove you, and I think that's completely and totally fair. I do think it's unfortunate that that our government let people in, and like I understand why they came, but I don't believe that they should be allowed to stay. I think maybe for some limited portion of them, there should be a path to citizenship, but largely, if they came in within the last 5 years, they should be removed.
All right. Can you explain to me what a legal process is to come into the United States? Like, what's a legal? Explain the legal process of immigration to me.
What do you? I mean, there's multiple legal ways to immigrate. What do you go in for specifically?
I mean, you want people to do it the right way, and you don't like illegal immigration. So I would like for you to explain to me what the legal process is.
I'm not an immigration expert. I'm not sure exactly what the legal process is. I'm not an immigrant myself. I was born here, but I don't think it matters regardless of what the legal process is. And I'm even willing to concede that the legal process is probably horrible and broken, but that doesn't mean that you get to
Why would the legal process not matter if it's important that people come here the legal way?
Because if you're going to immigrate to a country, at the very least you should respect their laws. And so if by your first act of coming to the country you break their laws, that's a massive sign of disrespect.
Oh, what law are they breaking?
The law that says that they're not allowed to cross the border.
Which one is that?
Without, I have no idea what the number is. Do you?
I do, actually. Can you explain to me how many people were let in your assumption?
I don't think we know. I don't think we have
don't
any
know?
idea what the number is.
No, the idea of saying that they were allowed in here means that we would have some way of quantifying this number, because if they were allowed, then they were known about.
Not necessarily. I think that the prior administration turned a blind eye to many illegal crossings.
Oh, so then it wasn't allowed?
Really any idea.
So it wasn't allowed?
Well, you're using allowed and presuming that that means that they like.
No,
legally
allowed
approved.
means permission given, sir. Like, allowed is permission. If I allow you to do something, I have given you express permission to do so. So, no, words have meaning, and I'm sorry, if you're going to say that we allowed all of these people in here, then that means that we, in fact, gave them permission to be here. So when I'm asking you how many people we allowed into this country, it's important to understand or give an example or a number of how many people actually individuals, like, came in here. And thank you, Comrade B Raiders. Thank you so much for the guys coming in. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're new. Go ahead. So how many people did we allow into this country?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure that we have a good. I don't think we have a good way to actually measure that.
We do.
Complete chaos.
No, it wasn't. All right, I'll help you out with something
Do you
here.
have a number in mind?
I
that
do.
You're going for?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, go for it.
Do you happen to know what an encounter is? Thank you, Grace Raiders.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what's an encounter?
When a border patrol agent would encounter an individual crossing the border illegally, detain them, and then release them into the country with a court date, if they claim asylum.
No, you just mixed up like 6 different things. Okay. All right, an encounter is any individual that is stopped anywhere along the border, including the water borders, okay? That's what an encounter is, okay? Anybody that is stopped, they are then interviewed, and then they are vetted if they're going to be allowed in, or, right? So these were extra things that you were adding into encounters, but no, encounters just means CBP is doing their job in counting how many people were stopped and interviewed, right? An interview is a separate process. We don't keep track of that number, just as we don't keep track of like the specific number of those that were actually given permission to come in after they were vetted, because every individual that actually came in that was allowed into the country, like, and we're using the word correctly now, given permission by Customs and Border Patrol to come into the country, they were fully vetted. And how do we know this? Is because now, can you tell me what an apprehension would be?
Yeah, but can I back up and ask a question? I see what you're saying. Are you making the case that every individual that crossed the border in, let's just say, the last 5 years or 10, whatever period of time we are accounting for, or are you only talking about the ones that Border Control came into contact with?
So the number of people that crossed through a non-port of entry is actually an unquantifiable number for those that were not stopped or encountered by CBP within 100 miles on the border. That's actually an unquantifiable number that they make an assumption of. So no, I'm only talking about people that were stopped by CBP. Well, sir, if they weren't encountered, again, if they were not encountered, then they were not allowed to come into this country, sir. They did it through illegal means and came here skirting around them, and they managed to dodge not only CBP, not only the Mexican military that were out on their side of the border, not only our smart wall technology such as drones that were going over them, and the National Guard. They avoided 4 different methods and more. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head, that to skirt around to come into the country, right? They were sneaky. That's an unquantifiable number, but even then, if we look at how many people were actually encountered, we have an idea of what that number could potentially be, which is not as high as you think it is.
I don't really care how high the number is. Let's just talk about it. Let's remove the number from it for a minute.
See, my other issue is when you were like talking about it beforehand, is that you're making this assumption that those that come into our country seeking asylum, we're somehow skipping the line, which is rude, right? Because asylum is a legal process. We not only do we have asylum, we also offer refugee status, parolee status, temporary protective status, also known as TPS, and then we have visas. There are at least 5 different processes like that we have defined names of for how to come here legally. My issue with the Trump administration is that Donald Trump and his administration, including the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, are looking at the individuals that are here with legal status, and they're revoking that status in order to bump up their deportation numbers to send them back out of the country. The people that came here the right way, under what's protected under our immigration laws, including the visa holders, right, that they've been revoked their status of. Like the people that are being picked up going to, also on their way to immigration court or leaving their immigration hearing, being picked up so they can be deported. Literally, if they're going and meeting with a judge or with an attorney, part of the process, or with an ICE officer, they are here legally and they are following the legal process. Donald Trump and his administration are making people revoking their status in order to bump up their deportation numbers.
Okay. Do you think there should be any deportation?
Yes, the same deportation that's always been happening, sir. If someone commits a crime and they are found guilty of that crime after going through the right of due process and they spend their time in jail, right, then they are deported legally, right? So that's one deportation that is counted. Now, I would say that individuals that commit non-violent offenses, if they're going to be deported, they can be deported before they serve their time. Anyone that commits a violent offense 100% should be spending their time in our American prison system, because then we'll know for sure that they did, in fact, like the family or whoever was the victim of their violent crime, sees their justice by their time being spent in court or spent in prison. And we know that they spent in prison because it was here in on American soil, being able to be watched by us. Because if we send them to a foreign prison, we have no idea what they're actually doing with it. They could just say, yeah, we kept them in there for 3 years. We kept them in there for the amount of time that you guys asked for. We don't know that for sure. Also, individuals that are found to be here without documentation or are found to have lied on, like, very clearly lied on their application, right, before they were naturalized, then yeah, they should be deported, right? Similar enough to, like, if somebody lies on a job application saying that they never committed a crime and then they're hired, or before their background check they're immediately denied because it found that they did in fact commit a crime, and they then lost their potential for a job. Like, it's the same concept there, sir.
Okay, sounds like we agree. I don't disagree with any of that. I think maybe I'm not sure where we disagree then.
Okay, so what I actually advocate for, no, I don't. It does. I don't. What did I explain that he's doing? He's removing citizenship status of individuals that have done nothing in this country to deserve it, right? Why are we immigrating somebody that all they did was hold a peaceful protest? That's all he did, was hold a peaceful protest, and they revoked his visa status. All a doctor did, someone that was here on a work visa, all she did was write a negative op-ed, right, an opinion piece, published about Marco Rubio, and then Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, who's responsible for revoking the citizenship status, or the legality status of individuals here on visas, and anyone else on status, Marco Rubio personally revoked her legality status in order to send her back home. So we're literally weaponizing the
case,
sure.
Let's go with the first one.
Mahmoud Khalil.
So, yeah, I'm not necessarily familiar. I don't follow the day-to-day news that well because I got other things to do. But so I'm not familiar with that exact case. But I do live in Los Angeles. I was affected by the protests / riots that were going on here a few weeks ago, and there's almost no other country that you could go to. If I went to Mexico and organized a protest, I don't think that would go well for me as a guest in their country. And I don't think if you're applying for citizenship or if you're trying to become an American citizen, I don't think it's a smart thing to do to go organize a protest against the sitting government of that country. That seems
Oh, he didn't.
at the
He
very,
didn't
very
protest
important-
against the sitting government. He was protesting against a foreign country and their actions.
Oh, are we talking about the guy on the college campus?
Mahmoud Khalil.
Okay, yeah.
Right now?
I know. I've heard about that one. I've more paid attention to the West Coast stuff because I live on the West Coast and I try to pay more attention to local politics than national. But so from my perspective, I mean, I don't think that mass immigration has been a good thing for California. I've been in California most of my life, and I don't think that if you are here illegally, you should be allowed to stay. So that's pretty much my position.
See, that's something I would also inherently disagree with. I'm also really quickly on TikTok. Thank you, Naquan, for the paid sub. We are now in a sub wave. If we get 3 more subs in the next 14 minutes, you guys unlock some silly, goofy stickers that I have in there. I don't even remember what all they are, but some of them are cute. Anyways, so I believe, like, if somebody has been here for 5, 10 years, right? They've been a contributing member of society. They haven't broken any laws, okay? They should be granted amnesty. Amnesty does not guarantee citizenship, but all it does is basically just wipe away their original crime, as people would call it, of crossing the border through a non-port of entry. And that's what it would do. It would put them back on being able to take the pathway to citizenship. That's what I advocate for. Because if someone's already been here for 5, 10 years, they've already established themselves here. And as long as they've broken no crimes since coming into the country, then I don't see why they can't have that record wiped away. Thank you, Paul. I don't see why they can't have that wiped away and then be allowed to stay. Because even Ronald Reagan, right, who was not a great human being, okay? Even he advocated for amnesty, and he did it with far less time. He said 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. I'm saying 5 to 10. Okay?
Yeah,
That's
I would
not
be open
skipping
to
the
that,
line because they still have to start the immigration process over from 0.
Yeah, I think that as well as possibly some sort of fine, but I would set the line at, for me, I would say closer to 10 years.
No, I don't see why. Anybody that's been in a country for 5 years has already established themselves here.
Illegally.
You can be hung up on that word, sir, but you literally have someone that's technically illegal in office. Illegal means that you've committed an actual offense, and I don't know if you understand this, sir, but in our country, it's innocent until proven guilty, and we literally have someone that's been convicted in office. That is an illegal, sir. Illegal is a dehumanizing term. Doesn't matter. He committed a crime. And so you're so hung up on somebody that actually committed a felony offense, and you're so hung up on somebody that committed a Class B misdemeanor versus somebody that actually committed 34 felony offenses, right? Felony is higher than a misdemeanor, you would agree?
Yeah.
So you don't care. You actually, dude, I'm well versed in this. I can even tell you the penal code that he violated, that they found him to be in violation of, that counted for the 34 count felonies. I can even tell you how many times it's been applied. I can tell you when the law started, when the very first conviction was. You want to try me? I'm not even from New York, but I know my information. I guarantee you don't. So you want to say, I don't want to go there? You don't want to go there, sir. The fact is, you can't say and stand on this like pedestal and say that you are here advocating for the law when you're okay voting in somebody that actually broke the law, that got to skip out on indictments to see if he was actually could be found to have broken the law in other states by becoming president. You voted in somebody that we know to have violated the law over multiple years, right? That stole money from campaign funds to pay off a corn star, because I can't say the word with the letter P, okay? You can't claim to be an advocate for the law and then just be so mad about somebody that's broken a 8 U.S. Code 1325, which is a Class B misdemeanor, felony offense. Like it's federal, right? It's still federal, but it's a Class B misdemeanor. But then you're so upset. You're so upset about a Class B misdemeanor, right? But you still voted in somebody that actually committed a felony, which is higher than a misdemeanor. 34, in fact. And again, he skipped out on charges in Georgia. He skipped out on charges in Florida, and skipped out on additional charges in New York. Like, you don't care about the law.
Out?
Charges, sir. So when?
Like, what do you mean by skipped out? You mean like you didn't show up for court?
No, sir. When he was elected president, all of those indictments had to go away. They had to be dismissed. Because you can't, there is no precedent in order to indict, in charge, and convict, or bring him in front of a jury, a president in front of a jury, while they're actively the sitting president.
He followed the legal process in all those cases. He showed up for everything that he was legally obligated to show up for, including his arrest in Georgia.
He didn't follow all the legal processes in those states, considering he already broke the law.
He followed the legal process.
No, he didn't. You can't say that he followed the legal process when he was put up on indictments because he violated the law.
I understand. I'm talking about in conjunction with the prosecution, as the like in the process of prosecution, he did not like skip out. He didn't like run away from.
Right, I didn't. And again, you asked me about that, and I made it clear what I meant. Yes, what did I say about what happened when he became president of the United States? What happened to those charges?
When he became president of the United States, those charges went away. But
oh, yeah, so then he got to skip out on those charges, sir. I made it very clear what I meant by that.
Okay, possibly we just have a semantic difference there, but I mean, I think
you don't even know what the word allow means, but you want to say we have a semantical difference, and you want to, yeah, sure. Now words mean something to him.
Are we gonna insult here, or are we gonna have a conversation?
That's not an insult. For me to point out that now, for me to point out to you that now words mean something, that's not an insult. That's an observation.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you, but I'm not happy to have like a condescending tone of conversation with you. So, either way, it's up to you. It's your show.
I've already made it clear that you don't get to claim to be a proponent of the law or someone that upholds the law when you vote in a 34-count felon who got to then get rid of or bury all of his pending indictments because he got to be the sitting president of the United States of America. You helped him get away from all of those indictments. You care so much about a Class B misdemeanor. Right? Which, by the way, like, it's this Class B misdemeanor is the same as like public intoxication.
I don't think we're gonna agree on this.
No, I get it. It's because you don't actually care about the law. If you did, you wouldn't have voted in somebody that had pending charges, and you would have let him have to go through the court process to see if he was actually not guilty or not, right? To verify that he is innocent. Okay? You skipped around the justice process. Let me guess. Let's try this. Hold on. Okay, let's see this. Do you believe that...
The country agrees that was a novel legal theory that he was brought on.
Majority. Got it.
And that it was a political prosecution that should have never been brought, especially the New York case.
Remind me which way Georgia votes. Does Georgia go red or blue?
But when I say the majority of the country, I mean he won the popular vote. So
he won the popular vote. Cool. See, that's okay. So Kayla, I was actually trying to ask him that, right? So Kayla, thank you for the 5, said, asking for a friend, does it matter more that he showed up to court or broke the law in the first place? She said, and this is coming from a licensed therapist, a licensed psychologist. And then said, tell me you're in a cult. I think she has the ability to diagnose you. I actually don't. She doesn't diagnose people. I'm just saying. But cool. I like how he's going. Allegedly. Allegedly. Well, every individual that supposedly crossed through the border through a non-port of entry, that is actually allegedly until it's proven in court. Do you believe that immigrants deserve the or have the right to due process of the law, sir?
No.
No?
Not the
So
same
then
thing
again, you don't care about the law. Oh, not the
No,
same
not
as
the-
American
not the same.
citizens. Okay. Can you tell me? Okay, this is great. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay. Due process of the law, but only for American citizens. Can you tell me which two constitutional amendments cover the right to due process, sir? No. What two constitutional amendments cover the right to due process? What two
Possibly I
constitutional
misspoke there.
amendments cover the right to due process?
Can I back up over a second? Because possibly I misspoke. I don't know. When you said due process, in my head, I'm more thinking about like rights. I don't think that citizens or
You would still be wrong.
non-citizens who have crossed the border illegally have the same rights as American citizens.
You would still be in unequivocally wrong. So you believe that? Okay. So due process of the law. Okay. Do illegal, as you like to call them, well, for my purposes, I prefer to call them unauthorized. Do unauthorized individuals deserve the right to due process in our country?
Deserve the right to due process. Are you asking?
Yes. I'm asking for your opinion.
Yes, but I think due process can be different for different individuals. For instance, to take it away from immigration for a second, let's say we have a
No, I
felon
want to
and
stick on
a
immigration.
non-felon. No, I'm just using this as like an outside example. Like a felon and a non-felon have different rights when it comes to voting and owning firearms. Both of them are entitled to due process, but that due process is different for both persons.
That's
Does that
not
make
what
sense?
due process is.
Okay. Do you want to explain what further? Go ahead.
Yeah, so voting is a separate constitutional amendment, and it also clearly states, and that's by the state, it's not federal, right? As far as who can vote if they've ever been convicted of a crime, right? It's on a state-by-state basis, okay? You being able to have your firearm rights back, again, that's a state-by-state basis. It's not necessarily federal, even though Mel Gibson got his back from Kristi Noem or Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know which one actually gave him his ability to own guns back. That was also really freaking odd to do. Mel Gibson, okay. Because did you know that Mel Gibson was a felon?
No, I don't really care either.
Oh, no, I was just curious if you knew about that. Talk about weaponizing the DOJ. If we're talking about Mel Gibson getting a personal favor from the President of the United States, that his DOJ, Kristi Noem, said, Attorney General Kristi Noem says, yeah, sure, you can just pay money to Donald Trump and we'll just give you back your rights to own a gun. It's cool. Just saying. I'm giving that you as an yeah, sure, but I'm sure you don't. Okay. Anyways, so the
But
due
also, I don't
process.
think that felons have their right to own guns taken away. So. All right, that's off topic. Go ahead.
Due process of the law. AG is Bondi. Sorry, guys. Listen, I hate all of these names. Pam Bondi. Got it. Pam Bondi's just as crazy. Anyways, due process of the law. Do you know what that is?
No, go ahead and define what you mean by due process of the law. Go ahead.
I'll give you a hint. It's exactly what Donald Trump went through. For his 34 felonies. The right to plead, the right to be heard, and everything to be investigated, even the right to a jury. So, do unauthorized immigrants deserve the right to due process?
I think that that illegal or unauthorized immigrants, no, I don't think they deserve the right to the same process as Americans. I don't think that they get all of the same assumptions as actual Americans. I don't think that they, yeah, no.
You would be inherently wrong. So not only has that been decided on by multiple Supreme Court cases in our history of this country, including, guess what, 2 in 2025, but even in prior history as well. And also it's because it's clearly stated in the 5th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution. So I'm going to skip the first sentence because that applies to birthright citizenship. We're going to read from here. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, semicolon. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. Nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So that specifically means that if we accuse any individual of a crime, so specifically 8 U.S. Code 1325, if we accuse your neighbor, we'll just call him John Doe just for the sake of it, John Doe across the street of you, of being unauthorized. They don't have permission to be here in the United States. He deserves, and we're accusing him of that, and we are then pressing charges for him under 8 U.S. Code 1325. Because we're accusing him of a crime, that's the crime, right? Then he is guaranteed the right to due process of the law. And not only is that with the 5th Amendment, it's also under the 4th Amendment and the 6th Amendments of the United States Constitution. And not only is it the 14th Amendment, but it's also the 5th Amendment of the United States Constitution. It even specifically says, right, multiple times, no person, right? Let's see. Here we go. I gotta figure out. Okay. All right. It's actually the last part of this very long paragraph. It's really it's a run-on sentence in reality, but okay. Where does the no person start? At the very beginning? Just at the, oh, okay. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Again, no person. Nowhere in it does it say no citizen. Due process of the law is guaranteed to any individual within the jurisdiction of our country, right? So the lines of our country, or on a foreign military base or embassy, shall be deprived of these rights because they are within the jurisdiction of the United States. Also, Jocular says, maybe one day a caller with basic effing constitutional law, like, please, people, I am begging you, take an con law class. Take a con law class. A constitutional law course, please. Thank you, Lindsay, for the galaxy.
Okay, I'm willing to concede then that they're, that's fine. I'm willing to concede that point. It doesn't change my stand on immigration.
No, I'm just saying that the reason why I don't agree with what Donald Trump is doing is because he's accusing these individuals of crimes, specifically the individuals that were all sent off to CICOT in El Salvador, of being gang members without actually bringing them through the justice system to prove that they were gang members and then violated another kind of crime or violated another law. He didn't prove any of that. But they were sent to what's equivalent to a concentration camp in another country that we're paying a foreign government $6 million for. And also, just so... Yeah, CICOT, El Salvador. In El Salvador.
You're talking about the institution of the Alien Enemies Act?
The Alien Enemies Act is something different, but even then it doesn't apply to gang members because they're not... Oh, people don't understand this at all. Again, you still can't. I think it's annually, T7. They were still not given due process of the law, which is guaranteed to them because they were accused of a crime. You can disagree with immigration all you want, but I'm just telling you it's being done inhumanely within this country, which is why I do not agree with it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. I will admit, like I don't obviously do this full time, so I'm not necessarily.
Dude, I don't do this full time. I
Probably.
spend 2 hours of my day doing this.
No, that's fine. I'm probably not as well versed on like the intricacies of it as you are. But I will say that like largely I still agree with the idea of removing especially anyone who is even gang affiliated. In my opinion, is perfectly fine. And
Then you'd have to remove a ton of
illegally,
American citizens, just so you know.
okay,
We have
anybody who's
American
gang-affiliated
gangs.
and also has immigrated illegally. I think it was pretty obvious that we're talking about this in the context of illegal immigration. But
Sure.
anyways, and also anyone who's immigrated illegally, and I think that
Again, you're crying over a
doing
Class B misdemeanor. But you voted in a 34 count felon. Felonies are higher than misdemeanors on the criminal hierarchy. I'm just saying, your logic doesn't mesh very well. You literally voted in a felon. You literally voted in somebody that got to then get away from his other indictments to see if he was guilty or not. So you literally voted for somebody to not give a shit about the law. Congratulations. But I am going to end. Have a good night, man. Okay. I'm just saying, like, they love to preach about it, but then it actually isn't anything because of who you voted in. You don't care about the law. You don't. You just don't. All right, really quick TikTok. I'm going to mute you real quick. Okay. Everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. You've been amazing. Thank you for the membership sent out, Paul. Thank you again so much. I do appreciate you all. I am going to shut it down for the night. I'll be on at some point tomorrow. If you want to know exactly when I'll be on, join my Discord. It's in my bio and my on here on YouTube. It's in the link tree. Join it. See, I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up. Okay. Y'all have a good night. I always do that every time.